Welcome to the 9th video in this series of videos guiding you through how to create your own 3D animations in Blender. In this video, which is going to be a little bit longer than the others because there's a lot to cram in, we're going to create a 3D monkey character. We're going to set up a skeleton and then animate that so that you can work out how to rig and animate your own characters. So this is where we'll be up to by the end of the video. We'll have a character based on the Cezanne monkey model in Blender, and then we'll add an armature and make it move. So if we start from the default cube, we can get rid of that. We'll add in a ground plane, Shift and A, scale it up, and then add a texture just for a little bit of interest. The base color can be one of these Voronoi textures, which we'll see in material preview. Then if we add in a monkey, grab it up, shade smooth, and add a subdivision surface modifier. If I'm going too fast, then you're probably watching the wrong video. You want to watch the first couple where we go through all of these skills. We haven't got time to recover them today. We will add in a couple of textures, a couple of materials. We'll have just 3, one for the skin of the monkey, and then just simple cartoony eyes, so a white sclera and a black pupil. So a new material in each of these slots. That's going to be the black inner eye, the pupil, and we'll have a new slot with a new material for the whites of the sclera of the eye. So in edit mode, let's zoom in. Now I'm only going to do one of the eyes this time because I want to mirror everything. So select nothing by pressing A twice, 3 for face select, C for circle select. I've done this so many times now, you'll be sick of hearing how to do this. I to inset, and then let's assign. There we go. All right. I know it looks really creepy at the moment, but let's get rid of half of the monkey so that we can mirror one side over to the other, so that when we create the character, we only have to do things once. It's a lot easier to do this in wireframe mode, so that's Z and then 4, and it really helps if you look dead on from the front. So I clicked on the Y over here, and it doesn't really matter if you're looking from the front or the back. You must be in vertex mode, so that's 1 on the keyboard with nothing selected, that's A twice. I'll use B for box select, and I don't want to include the center vertices, but I want to go as close to them as I can to be able to get all of the vertices on the left selected. X to delete. Go back into material preview, and we should see a clean slice right through the monkey's head. Sorry, monkey. But when we mirror that mesh, add a modifier, a generate modifier, and a mirror mesh modifier, then that looks great. Okay, so you can spend a lot more time than I'm going to making the rest of the character. I'm just going to hide this pressing H. You can Alt H to show it again later, or you can show and hide on the inspector up here, but it's going to be a lot easier to make the character if we can't see that. Back into edit mode and face select, that's 3, get the bottom on here and pull it out with, I pressed S, I meant to press E, and this is not what we want, so I'll undo that and tick the clipping box so that when we extrude this time, the left side is clipped to the right side. This is going to be the neck, so I'll scale it down a little bit. E to extrude again, that's going to be the shoulder, so I'll scale up. E to extrude again, it's going to be the waist, so I'll scale up again, maybe grab it down a little bit more. E to extrude, S to scale. Now I know the anatomy isn't going to be particularly good, but it'll be fine. Then I want the leg to come out, but I don't want clipping on while I pull the leg out. So let's scale that down. E to extrude again, that's going to go to the knee, so a little bit thinner. And at this point, it's kind of facing not quite the right direction, so I'm going to rotate it around the green line, that's Y, until it faces directly down, so I can extrude downwards. E to extrude again, so that I've got the front of the leg to pull out. I'll extrude a little bit and then a little bit more. I don't know why it doesn't shade smooth if you extrude out, but I'll correct that at the end. Let's get the shoulder. E to extrude out a little bit, S to scale down, maybe rotate around the Y-axis again, RY, just so that it's going to be in a T-pose, and that T-pose is really important if we're going to rig it. We want the legs and the arms to be as far away from each other as possible. So E to extrude, S to scale down at the elbows. That's probably a little bit too much. E to extrude again, then I'll pull out a little bit just so that I can squish. S to scale. I want it to be nice and thin so that when I pull the hand out, it's not a really fat hand. That's too much. I want just a little area where I can pull out a thumb, and then the rest can be kind of a mitten. And then if I zoom in on that mitteny bit, I can use the knife tool to get different areas. I'm just pressing K for the knife tool, click, click, enter. I want 4 areas, one for each finger. E to extrude, that's going to be the index finger, and then do the same for all of the other fingers. The middle finger is a little bit longer, the 4th finger is a little bit shorter, the 5th finger is the shortest of them all. It's really stubby, but it's fine for the limited amount of time that we've got. So that's going to be our character. If you want, you can make it even better. I'm going to stick with that. You can sculpt it if you want, but the more you sculpt it, the more vertices you have. Let's keep it as simple as we can for now. Right, let's go into object, back into object mode by pressing Tab, Shift A. This is when we're going to create the skeleton. Now, the skeleton is hard to see at the moment, so I'm going to click on the bone and viewport display. No, I think it's the skeleton. And viewport display, then we can tick in front, and then whichever angle we're looking at, you can see that bone structure, which is going to make things a lot easier for us. I think it's easier to do the rigging in quad view, so that's Control Alt and Q. And I would recommend the first bone that you put in to be from the hips, and then you want to look from multiple angles to make sure that the bones are inside the bodies. You'll know it's probably a bad thing if you see your bone poking outside of your body, and it's the same when you're rigging. All right, let's go into edit mode. Move that about halfway up. E to extrude up to level with the middle between the 2 shoulders. I'll go out in one direction to the armpit, to the elbow, and I'm just pressing E each time out to the wrist. I'm not going to rig each finger separately. You can if you've got more time. I will put a little bone that controls the whole hand, but you'll notice as I look from a different angle, it's not looking good. So we just have to press G every now and then to move all of the points of the armature so that it matches your mesh. Okay. Do the same over the other side. So we click where we want to extrude from. Let's go out to the armpit, adjust as we go. There we go. E to extrude out to the elbow, out to, so the proportions of this body are pretty terrible, but it's only cartoony. It will be fine. And a little hand. There we go. All right, now to do the lower part of the body. So I'll go out from the pelvis to the hip, and from the hip down to the knee. And we want that to match the mesh from all the different angles down to the heel. Oops, come on. What's going on? Zoom in, pan, and then extrude out to the tip of the toe. Right, one more leg to go. Extrude out from the pelvis to the hip, from the hip to the knee, and oops, from the knee to the, I feel like I'm singing a song, the hip bone's connected to there. I'm not going to put you through that, don't worry. And then E to extrude, lovely, almost there, done. Okay, now if we were doing this properly, we would name all of these bones. You can see the names here, and you can rename them individually by clicking on them, which does make it easier if you need to edit them afterwards. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'll show you how to do one. There you go, you can call that spine, and this would be hand R for the right hand, or however you want to choose your name, your naming convention. I want to extrude from the top here into the neck. There we go, and then from there up into the head. Nice. Okay, so I think we have a skeleton. I would save it at this point, just in case things go horribly wrong, and they probably will. Next, we want to try and apply that transformation. So let's go back into object mode. Select the mesh first, then shift click on the armature and control P for the parent. And we want with automatic weights so that each vertex will automatically be weighted to move with the relevant bone. Which should in theory work, but it won't work very well. I think the head will move reasonably, but the arm, you'll notice, that's not great. That's because we haven't applied the mirror modifier. Anything that happens on one side is mirrored on the other side, and that is not at all what we want. So to fix that, let's go back into object mode, select the mesh, find the modifier, find the mirror modifier, and apply it. Then we're going to have to, I don't know if that'll work. Do we have to set the parent again? I don't know. Yes, we do. So in object mode, select the mesh first, then the armature, control P with automatic weights. That replaces the previously set automatic weights, so that this time in pose mode, it only moves one thing at a time. So that's okay. We can animate each bone individually, which is reasonable, and you can rotate around any axis like R, Z, but it can be helpful to just grab the hand, and then that will automatically move the arm and possibly the body as well. So we need inverse kinematics for that, which is the bone constraints. I'm going to select one of the hands. Let's just turn off names. So on bone constraints, let's add a constraint to that selected bone, inverse kinematics. You'll see a line from the hand to the center. That's where we start at the pelvis. So now when you grab it, it will automatically work out where every other bone needs to be back to the root location, which is the pelvis over here. So I'll do that for the other arm, sorry, the other hand as well, inverse kinematics. For the head, I'm going to do it slightly differently, because I don't want the head to move the whole body. I just want the head to move the neck. So I'm going to limit the chain length to 2 so that it only moves the neck and the head. And then for the foot, I don't know, do we want to move the whole thing? I don't really want to move the pelvis, so we'll limit that to 3. There we go, and then the same on the other side. Inverse kinematics, chain length 3. Okay, so our rigging isn't perfect, but it's functional. We can now do some keyframe animation. So if we select everything with A in pose mode, I just want 100 frames of animation, so let's set that up first. Insert a keyframe at the beginning. I'm going to insert exactly the same keyframe at the end by pressing I, and then you can just move wherever you want on the timeline, grab a bone that you want to animate, and then, oh, I forgot to turn on auto keyframing, so it's not going to remember that. Let's turn on auto keyframing. make a change, it should put keyframes in on any bone that is moved. And then let's make him lift his knees. So I'm going to do this from this angle. R, not RZ, RY, R. Let's just do R. There we go. It's going to lift up his leg like this, down like that. There we go, and we should have a little animation. It can take a lot of getting used to, and you really do have to use the animation pane to select keyframes, move them, delete them, until you get used to exactly what you're doing here. So you can grab them along the timeline, you can delete them if you want to, you can select multiple keyframes and scale them to speed things up or slow things down. But you can have a lot of fun with this. Create your characters, animate your characters, you can download characters from Sketchfab, add an armature to it, and then edit that armature. Enjoy your storytelling.